come up here. Jack Willis is a senior this year. Going to make a presentation to his parents. And he's come along fine this year. And I tell you from looking at the tape, he's one of the most consistent people for controlling and catching the passes on the board. That's a big step ahead, Dan. We're proud of you. Thank you. Thank you again. Tom and Janet McNamara and Brian. Let's up on the right. Tom and Janet, pleased to have you. Brian McNamara, who this year has become part of one of the most successful power play combinations, I think, in the history of triple hockey. I've been to the 5 Iron Huntsman and Brian, one of the captains. Nice to have you with us. Thank you, man. Roland's already ready. Roland, as volunteer president of the booth, is putting a lot of time. We've got a young man here, a senior defenseman, doing the strike to play both senior and forward, started to school this year. Greely has been a great player. We want to thank you for the way that you welcomed the younger students to this team. Thank you, Captain Defenseman Greely. I'd like to George Sweetman, come on, guys, please. What can you do without the steel curtain and the person who stands on his head when the team is playing poorly, badly, mediocre, or hot? George Sweetman, you earned your stripes, you have it. Mike and Marie Schwartz, please. And Matt. Team can't operate without a manager. Matt, great soccer player, we've had the support of Mike, Marie, and Matt with triple hockey this year. And part of being part of the team, coming to know what Clipper Condition and Clipper Pride is all about. Thank you, Matt. Assistant coach Tim Smith. Want to thank you folks for your help. Tim played for that Lou Nevis or something. Lou Nevis was a fine investment, and he put a mistake, right, Tim? Really helped that investment this year. You can see it with the strength of standing in front of George Greely. Want to thank Tim and Shane for a lot of support. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the final regular season home game for 6th grade high school Rangers. We're proud to honor Kyle Bassett, John Carroll, Brian John, Chris Howgate, and Adam and Will Sharp for their years of hard work and dedication. We also would like to take a moment to thank the mothers of these 6 seniors. Their support and encouragement through the years has been greatly appreciated not only by their sons, but also by everyone involved in our Greely hockey program. The hockey moms that we would like to honor here tonight are Lady Bassett, mother of Todd. Jimmy Howgate, mother of Chris, Paula and Martha Stark, mothers of Adam and Phil Stark. We also want to give special thanks to our 2 senior managers, Kate Schwartzell and Brett Baker. Our thanks for to all of you. Thank you.
On the last regular game in goal for this senior. What can you say about him? The steel curtain of Yarmouth. Big Joe Rich won the Brunswick game, 3 goals, starting to come alive. Joe, congratulations on those SATs. Fine job. Big Ryan McDonough, Nestle's Crunchman, got another year. Hayes Henderson. Ben Donosky, a freshman, earned a place on this forward line, a great athlete. Another great athlete, Sven Johnson, the greatest penalty killers that the Clippers have had, and the rest of the Clipper team. Chris Howgate for Greely, a senior in his last game. Been a real anchor for the Rangers. Brian Jolliffe, but don't come much tougher in front of the net than Big Brian. Learned all that stuff in Helsinki, Finland, don't you know? That is, I didn't get his name. He's a senior. Phil Sharp coming out. Twin brother of Adam. Very clever fellow. Mike the Wheels Duffy. Where's Dick? John Carolyn. And I apologize for missing number 7. What's number 7's name? Do you know?
Kyle Bassett.
Kyle Bassett. All right, we're going to have somebody singing this, I believe. Great. Clippers at attention, moving only when the sticks of the captain to move, and this will be a big game, a tough rivalry. And this place is packed. Good to see the crowd. Greely will be up for this game, as will the Clippers. Clippers coming off a tough game, 4-1 win over Brunswick. Greely, a tough 2-1 loss over York, but toughest thing in playing a tough team like Greely is they get mad after a loss like that and really come out romping and stomping. So we'll have George Sweetland at the far end of the ice and Chris Howgate at this end, and we'll be back with the action. We're about ready to drop the puck. Two teams that will skate 3 solid periods of hockey. Tough. Hayes Henderson, face-off goes over to Johnson's quadrant. Duffy is on him, 2-17s. Joe Rich lays a check into Duffy. There's another check by McDonough. Down in, whoops, Joe Rich tries to get a shot away. He's going to get another chance to move the puck. Slap shot down at Howgate, and he makes a stave. Joe Rich tests him early. In is Donorski. Over on the wing, Duffy. Slap shot by McDonough. Howgate down in, and he stops 2. Yarmouth going to try to test Chris Howgate early in this game. Joe Rich up the boards. There's a big pile-up as 2 Yarmouth players check each other. McDonough looks up the boards. Johnson will go back for a line change, and we'll get an icing call as the Clippers fired it in from behind the red line, 14-18. 2 big shots on Howgate. Rich going to test the senior goalie from Greely early in the contest, and we'll have a face-off in the Yarmouth defensive end of the ice. Todd Sharp will look the situation over. Magnabo, puck loose, picked up by Mike Vecchione, streaks down the ice near wing, across the center ice, goes down, no call. Greely is in, there are 2 with him, and the puck is out. It's going to be picked up by big Shane Strout of Yarmouth, pinched on the board. Strout will get it, comes down across the line, and dribbling, he is upended, and Greely nearly had a breakaway on that one. On Strout's dribbling the puck, Strout up the boards, Vecchione will get it. It's chipped away by Greely. Vecchione again, and the battle is fought in the transition on neutral ice. Rushed out across the line. Yarmouth will control as Hogenkamp made a nice stop. Kept his eye on it, dumped in at Howgate, and the Clippers are going to dump the puck right at him. Flipped. Big Joe Rich held from behind down at Howgate. He misses on the short side. Down in on the short side. There's 4 or 5 shots. Yarmouth trying to get the shots on. Far wing, Ben Barry pinched. Moore will watch his man, and the puck comes out over center ice. McDonough tries to pick up a hit. Duffy into the forward zone quickly. McDonough strips him of the puck. Little dive by the Duff, no call. Duffy picks it up again. Joe Rich will pinch him. Skate kicks up to the wing. Nobody on the wing. Somebody in too deep. Gillis. Backhand picked up by McDonough. He rolls it up the boards and out of bounds, and we'll have a line change and a face-off in the Yarmouth defensive end. 12:51 on the clock. Clippers and Greely 0-0. Clippers have put the pressure on, and Chris Howgate has kept them out of the net early. And Greely with some very speedy forwards. Jolliffe always a danger. And break it open. Henderson on the face-off circle along with, I believe, Josh Klein is number 10. Klein still controls. Sweetland punches it away on the short side. Puck behind the net. Out in front. Who will get to it? Jolliffe gets to it. Sweetland with a pad save. Greely pounding in on him, and there's a save there by a defenseman. Long pass over to Donorski, just out of reach. Icing call as Yarmouth did not collect on the pass. Hogenkamp had to get that pass up the ice. Got it out of danger just enough. Tried to hit Donorski. Didn't try to dribble it too much. Good defensive play. Good steady play by sophomore defenseman Brian Hogenkamp. And we'll get a face-off again in the Yarmouth end of the ice. Or Yarmouth leading with shots on. Greely leading with territorial advantage. Face-offs in the Yarmouth end of the ice. They'll put some hosses on Yarmouth. Hayes Henderson will be out. Face-off. Fought for. Henderson picks it up. Streaks down the ice. Gonna go near wing. Johnson trails. Johnson down on Howgate. Fires in. Howgate can't make it. He makes a save. And Henderson is down greeting Brian Jolliffe. And Brian is gonna grab him around the neck. Give him a big hug. Johnson with a nice wrist shot wide open coming into the mid-slot area. And Chris Howgate has made the stop. Question is, when will the Clippers put it by and who will it be done by? 12:18 remaining in the first period, and as we suspected, both teams opening up with intensity. Magnabo in on the face-off. Magnabo picks it up, backhand into the corner. He will control it. Tries to control it. Vecchione into the boards. There's a scramble for it. Nobody controls. Greely battling for it. Out in front, and Chucka Prin almost had it in short side. Backhand by Vecchione. Almost in the net. What a big save by Greely. The Clippers are just banging away on the Greely net, and they had it wide open and could not put it away for the prize. 11:57, and the Clippers knocking on the door, but no prize as of yet. Face-off is in the Greely zone. Advantage Clippers. One of the first times a face-off, I believe, is in the Greely zone. It is outside the Greely zone. Net dislodged, man in the crease. Joe Rich has a talk with Hayes Henderson. Joe's suggesting that one of the things that ought to be done is the puck ought to go in the net. One of the objects of the game. Of course, I'm sure that Ed Harding and Bob Davis would agree. Henderson and Phil Sharp on the face-off circle. Punched back by Sharp. McDonough with a backhand. Donorski can't handle it. He does. He dumps it in the zone. Henderson right on Jolliffe. Johnson just out of reach. And McDonough. Rich. Backhand. Johnson will be in. Henderson. Puck out. Joe Rich gets it. Wrist shot coming in. Down in. Johnson with an attempted tip. And it's picked away by number 8 of Greely. And I'll get the names down here. Johnson. Skate kick. Henderson out in front. Howgate flicks it aside. Clippers trying to put it away. Johnson gets a tap on it. Duffy takes it. Puck up the boards, and Phil Sharp will try to zigzag around Joe Rich. Oh, Phil, that was kind of a dive, and I don't think anybody bought it. But it's a good try if you can get away with it. Joe Rich playing well. Controls the puck. Starts up. He's got a lead. Slap shot by Rich, and it goes off Jolliffe's ankle. Whistler, Howgate will take the puck. Jolliffe will pick it up behind the net. Yarmouth will get a line change. Davis getting the chance to get 3 lines on the ice against Greely. In is big Ben Barry. He'd love to put a check on here. He meets Jolliffe, and Jolliffe goes down. High fly ball, Harold Henderson. You can't, Harold, this isn't like the Red Sox game. You can't reach him outside the stands and grab him in. Ben Barry hit from behind, no call. And it will be picked up by Todd Sharp, a junior actually. Phil Sharp on a breakaway. Stripped away nicely by Shane Strout. Greely in deep will be forced to tag up. There's a backhand in on Sweetland. Is picked up nicely by the defenseman. Rushing is Roger Moore over on the near wing. Duffy gets it. He gets it twice. Moore gets a stick on it. There's a crunch on the near wing boards. He's shoveled up, and 20 for Greely will pick it up. Out across the blue line, intercepted by Prin. Over into neutral ice. Transition zone. Controlled by Greely. Hogenkamp with a backhand. Comes out across the blue line. The Rangers try to control it. They do. Puck into the Yarmouth zone. Greely in on the forecheck. Hogenkamp behind the net. Any kind of offside waved off. Prin looks. Shot down on Sweetland. Takes it on the short side, and Greely will pick up the puck in their own zone, and they'll get an icing call as the Clippers will be hauled back into the Greely end of the ice. Greely getting their legs under them. Clippers have pounded away on Howgate quickly and have not been able to put it in. One of the problems is the goalie of the opposing team. If he gets a chance to make some stops, he gets the confidence, and that sometimes will toughen and tighten the hockey game with 9:47. Zip, zip, the score. Since this tape is going to be shared with Greely, I want to congratulate Ed Harding. He hasn't been thrown off the bench yet. Ed, congratulations. This is a positive statement, Ed. It's not a malignment. On the boards, fought for, tied up. Vecchione comes away with it. Rich will pick it up, puts on the binders, goes up to the weak side, and it flicks off an ankle. Could have been dangerous out in front. Nice play by Rich. Got it across the blue line. It will be dumped back in by the Rangers. McDonough up to Prynne. Prynne looks, got an opening, fires long. Vecchione is going to have a foot race with a hamster, and Ian is Shane Strout. Duffy will pick it up. Nice move by Magnabo. He's in on the forecheck. Prynne gets it. Andy Bradford, always dangerous. Gets around one man, dumps it to the side. Rich with a check, and there's a high fly ball to right field. Prynne will gather it in. Big glove over there in right field, dumped into the far wing corner. Yarmouth on a line change, and Vecchione will come in to challenge Jolliffe. Jolliffe looks up, bounces it up the boards. Johnson out around one man, put a good deke on, out into the slot area, and Jolliffe was there to pick it up as Johnson had beat him, set up nicely behind the net. Sharp looks, and there's a check missed by McDonough. Rich over to the near wing. In deep is Todd Hatch. Greely starting to crash in deep now, seeing if they can tie Yarmouth up, and that leaves some room for Donosky to take it on the high wing. In is Johnson. He's going to come into the boards, down under the big television booth, a large production facility. Sharp tied up. Donosky races for it, goes over to the weak side. Henderson is there. Donosky with a check into the boards, and Jolliffe will pick it out. Over to the near wing. Johnson will come in, puts a check on Todd Sharp. Big slap shot down in. Henderson just misses the net. Great tip. And Howgate was over hugging the far post. Glove save, slap shot down in again. Howgate with a blocker save to the far wing. Jolliffe will pick it up. He's pushed. No call from behind. Johnson, little backhand out. McDonough gets a bullet down in. A little too high. Yarmouth with shots, but nobody in yet. Henderson held by Jolliffe. No call. Taken down by the ankles. Bit off his ear, and he got away with that one. That's Todd Hatch. Slippery devil. 7:42, and Hogenkamp is back into his own defensive end of the ice down behind the cage. Hogenkamp looks up, cross-ice path, hits Henderson. Henderson mishandles it, and Phil Sharp is right on him. Down in on Sweetland, and Sweetland has to flick it to the near wing corner. Rich held up high, no call. Thus far, we've avoided penalties and a wide-open hockey game where both teams can show their stuff. Nobody has put it away. Joe Rich out around two people. They're going to try to pinch him, and looks as if, I believe 15 is Duffy, but I can't tell you. Duffy the younger. Puck down in, goes wide. Joe Rich fighting to get it out. Duffy fighting to keep it in. Ben Barry will control it down across the line, and there's a dubious call as Roger Moore was onside, a very close one. Rules of the game are, of course, when you're partisan for Yarmouth, you have 5 opposing players. The Greely is always the bad guys, and skating with the opposing team always. 2 people with striped uniforms and black helmets, the bad guys. So opposing teams to Yarmouth always have 5 players plus 2 on the ice and a goalie, and Yarmouth has to overcome that. Henderson on the faceoff. Magnabo on the faceoff. Phil Sharp on the faceoff. 6:53, no score. And a close hockey game from NYA. NYA knocked off Edward Little. Nice move by Hogenkamp. This one comes up the ice. He went in low. Good clean check. Dumped in. No icing here. Mike Vecchione in on it. Puck flipped over to the side. Down in by Yarmouth. Couldn't be handled by Andy Bradford. Nobody into the slot area. Vecchione out around 2 people. Taken down. Stranglehold. No call. Duffy. Poke checked away, and it's going to be picked up by Phil Sharp. Greely Rangers blast across the line. Sweetland sees it go wide on the short side. Far wing, Vecchione tries to control. It comes out with Magnabo, dumps it for a line change. Prynne will be the lone man in on the forecheck. Hit up high, no call. Taken down. Magnabo tries to get on to Duffy. Vecchione looks at it. This one is knocked down in at Howgate, a little dribbler. Sometimes those can be dangerous. Duffy picks it up. Johnson got a stick on it. Nice move. This one is by Henderson. He's out around the defense. Big he is in. Henderson puts away. 5:47 from the arena. Johnson got a stick on it behind the blue line, and Henderson deep 2 players. Came in all alone. In on Howgate. It is now Tibbers 1. Rangers zip from NYA. 5:47 on the clock. Great individual effort by Henderson. Once Johnson got the puck, just got a stick on it. Great individual effort by the Hayes, and it's 1-0 with 5:47. Henderson will do his own honors on the faceoff. It's fought for. Henderson gets 1 stick on it, goes down. He and Johnson in on it. Todd Sharp, hello, how are you? Here's a fist in your face. I know you. Loose puck. Henderson again. Out around Jolliffe. Ben Donosky. Johnson will come take it in the corner. Back out to the point, and Todd Sharp makes a nice interception. Hayes Henderson tries to sweep it, and Sharp controls it. Good poke check by junior defenseman Ryan McDonough. Ben Donosky in. He'll challenge Jolliffe. Loose puck. The referee kicks it. Jolliffe will pick it up. Big swipe by Joe Rich. It's controlled by Yarmouth. Shane Stroud dumps it in. The Clippers are in the Greely zone. Greely never gives up. Big check by Ben Barry. Loves those checking drills. Over on the boards. Play there. Strout hesitated just a minute. Or was that big Joe Rich? Joe Rich. Donosky down in. Fires on Howgate on the short side. Couldn't quite put it away. I don't know if I got it there. I was talking, not listening. No, most unusual. Out in front. Whistle down in. Loose puck. And Greely with a great play by Klein. A one-handed chip shot of Mashey from the sand trap. Puts it out into the Yarmouth defensive end. Duffy on Rich. Fought for in the neutral zone. Jolliffe will pick it up. He tries to get around Roger Moore. Shane Strout goes back. Phil Sharp comes in on the check. Greely comes across the line. Strout gets it. A little offside there. No call by the referee. I think he's a graduate of Greely High School. Up the boards. You have to understand. When you're partisan, you malign everybody. Sweetland makes a big save. That one was going for the opposite post. 4:08. Clippers with a tremendous charge, but Greely
16-6 so far.
16 shots for Yarmouth in the first period, 6 for Greely. So the Clippers have gotten serious about this game after being badly outshot by Brunswick. Magnabo will be on the face-off. Rangers are never down. Magnabo and Phil Sharp. Brian Magnabo controls it. Phil got a stick on it. It's flipped out nicely by Chuck Prin. Charles Prin the fourth, the Chuck. Chucky'd like to chuck one in the net. Ham Bradford moves up to number 8, John Carolan. This one is a long pass. Greely trying to break through the Yarmouth defense with a long passes. Shane Strout with an elbow. He may be called on that one. Thus far, he got called on it. And Shane Strout with a check up in the face, and he'll go for a 2-minute minor. No penalties. Yarmouth was the first penalty. Strout had a good chance for a clean check, but he got his arms up. And Greely now has an opportunity to put one away on Yarmouth and tie it up. 3:47, then the face-off is in the Yarmouth into the ice. No, unassisted. Phil Sharp. Johnson gets it punched ahead. Out. Johnson and Todd Sharp. It looks as if Johnson got it across the blue line. And who was that? Ben Donosky that brought it into his own zone? Not that far ahead, Ben. Swung out. Nice skate kick. Johnson down the ice. He's held, taken down, and no call. Oh, a big trip. No dive, of course. We wouldn't announce out of Happy Yarmouth. Ham Bradford. Quick backhand over to the wing. Duffy looks. He's going to try to get it out into the point. Gives it to Jolliffe. Try to get Yarmouth to break the box. Rich crams him in the boards. Donosky out and down in. Todd Sharp. George Sweetland with a big save, and Ryan McDonough muscles it backhand. Chip shot, and Ben Donosky will knock it out. 1:16 remaining on a penalty. 3:01 on the clock, and the Clippers will try to fight off a Greely power play. First penalty of the game. Very clean game thus far. Long pass by Jolliffe, just out of reach, and Johnson knocks it back into the Rangers' defensive end of the ice. Jolliffe moves in, long pass, and it is beyond Duffy, but icing is waved off. Duffy looks behind. I think he thought icing might be called on that one. Duffy tries to get McDonough to break stride, talks to him. Jolliffe moves to center ice, loosens it up for Bradford. Jolliffe tried to draw him out. Shot, Sweetland save, and McDonough down in, and there's a little bit of visiting on the ice with Ryan McDonough, a little do-si-do, a little square dancing. Andy Bradford comes down, gives him a little shove with a stick. .25 on the clock. And 36 seconds to go on, 38 seconds to go on the power play. Greely with a face-off advantage. Face-off won by Yarmouth. Wrapped down the ice and out of bounds. Wrapped down the rafters rather than down the ice. Greely will bring some of its horses back on the ice. Sharp, Jolliffe, and Bradford face off again in the Yarmouth end of the ice, and they'll try to get an advantage and get a shot on goal. Puck kind of indecisive. High fly ball, and Yarmouth will clear it out with 29 seconds. Greely will set up. Todd Sharp will start down the ice. He tried to stick handle through. Draws him over nicely over to his cousin Phillips. Shot. Sweetland takes it on the short side. There's a Greely player down. And he's hanging on to McDonough's stick. I think might be Phil Sharp. Ham Bradford had the puck and the stick and gives it a little backhand skate kick. Get 8 points for style. 13 seconds on the penalty. 2 minutes even on the clock. Greely again on a line change. Duffy and Carolyn a couple out. Kyle Bassett and Brian Jolliffe will stay on the ice. Philip Sharp will be on the face-off circle. Jolliffe will control. McDonough is held up, and we've got a whistle on the play, an offside call. That runs a few seconds off the clock. Face-off will be just outside the Yarmouth defensive end of the ice. McNaboe on the face-off, along with Quinn, Rich, and McDonough. Loose puck. Jolliffe will try to gather it in. 4 seconds to go. Joe Rich skate kicks it across the blue line. Phil Sharp will be in. Shot on Sweetland goes wide, deflected on the short side. Dangerous time as power plays finish up. You're trying to get a man back on the ice, and the Clippers will enjoy an icing call with 1:34 remaining. And the face-off will be in the Yarmouth end of the ice. Territorially, I think Greely has had more face-offs. Yarmouth has an important ingredient, shots on goal, and also the most important in the game thus far is the score on the clock, 1-0 by Hayes Henderson unassisted. Nice move. Actually looked as if it deflected off Sven Johnson's stick behind the blue line, but of course the instant replay officials will have to review all of that. Henderson and Sharp. Henderson wins it. Backhand by Hogenkamp over to Donorski. They're going to pinch him in. Henderson will come out and back him up. Nice move by Hayes. Flips it to Donorski. Johnson coming down across the line, and it's dumped in. Nice dump by Donorski. Johnson is hit. Flips the puck away. Henderson gets it. Out to McDonough. Johnson going for the tip. In the net by freshman Ben Donorski. It started out at the point by Hogenkamp. I said McDonough. Got caught out in the center, and that one slipped by Chris Howgate with a 1:07 on the clock. 2-0 Clippers, as the Clippers put that one away from the mid-slot area, and that's a high percentage area. Tough one to get. Goalie has to move laterally. Clippers up 2-0 in this game thus far. I thought you didn't like my pen.
I don't. I know. I got to take Caitlin babysitting.
Okay. Howgate makes a stop. The Clippers dumped it in, and back looks like Duffy. Flipped in. Down is Ryan McDonough, and back. Nice move by Barry. Puck goes out of bounds, but Ben Barry came back and covered up for Ryan McDonough. Good teamwork, Clippers, as he made the move in the transition zone back into the defensive end of the ice. 52 seconds. Clippers up 2-0. Goal by Henderson. Big goal by Ben Donorski. And I guess we had no assist on that, right? Or was there? Ryan Hogenkamp. We'll get a call. I'm double guessing here. Magnaball goes down, no call, and Greely. And Bradford picks it up, print in on him. Ham makes a move, goes up the boards, Sharp down, Rich takes it, and they call offside. McDonough took it. I get mixed up with McDonough and Rich. 2-0, 38 seconds to go in the first period. And the Clippers continue to put pressure on the Greely Rangers. The last game of the regular season for both teams. Face-off, fought for, 2 big whiffs, and that one will be picked up by Bradford. Rich, nice poke check by Rich, slipped him right off the puck. Vecchione dribbling, had it poke checked away. Rich up the boards, and Greely will still control. Down, and there's a shot out across the blue line, dumped in, I believe, by Duffy. I'm not sure if it's 15, but I think it is. Jimmy, Todd Sharp will get on to Joe Rich, takes him down, and there's no call on that one. Out around, they'll try to get a backhand, and we've got a whistle on the play. Net move. Greely referee brought him in. I think they had a big banquet for the referees at Greely over at the Sharps' house before the game. And we, however, will get a person in the crease call. 7 seconds to go. Alan Carter now on the statistics. Alan, good to have you back with us. I know we get an accurate count shots on goal from Magoli's father. They always pay attention to those things. Backhand. Greely in the zone. 3 seconds to go. Greely with pressure, and we have a little extracurricular movement with Mr. Strout, Mr. Sharp. Mr. Jolliffe comes in. There's a rip your head off Shane Strout. I don't think I'd say that. And we will have the second period of the game. It isn't over yet. Tough always with Greely Rangers. A tough competitive team. The Clippers, however, lead 2-0, and this is a big score in the first period for the Clippers. Usually don't. 18-9 up here. They call it 18-10. Not bad by the Greely statisticians. They do a lot better job than some people. This is Wayne Johnson on the video and the play-by-play. We'll be back with the action in just a minute. Game, and we didn't get a chance to do the scroll in the roster here, so we'll try to get through with this before we open up to the second period. Yarmouth Clippers, Greely Rangers, Greely home ice. We had a nice presentation of the flowers and the carnations to the senior parents as well as Greely, and I'd like to call attention that we noted that Adam Sharp was here. He's gone through a tough time when you serious operation, traumatic. He's back behind the bench at Greely, encouraging him. Glad to see him back. And the Clippers now, in this second period, are up by a score, 2-0. But it ain't over till it's over. Start of the second period. George Sweetland stretches out. He's made some big saves. And, of course, it's bad luck to mention you got a shutout going, so I've screwed that up just by opening my mouth. And now we'll have the face-off. Ed Harding, coach of the Greely Rangers, has had a chance to give players a pep talk in the locker room and get them back in the game. Clippers came out and dominated with shots in the first period. I wish my statistician was here. I don't know where he's gone. But I can't tell you anything about shots or goals till Alan Carter gets back with me. Joe Rich picks it up, snaps it over to the far wing. Duffy sees it go out, and Ryan McDonough will pick it up. Long pass, and it comes back into the Yarmouth end of the ice. Down in on Sweetland. Nice poke check. Joe Rich has got it loose. Big senior defenseman. Up the ice, looks out around one way, swings wide, fires down in. Howgate makes a save on the far side. Short side if you're looking at Rich, and we've got the statistician back in. Nice move, pinched by McDonough. Over in the boards, Ryan McDonough goes in. No call on that one, probably because player from Greely ducked. Sometimes that will result in a call. Henderson comes up the ice. Dahosky and Johnson on the wings. Henderson sweeps wide. Jolliffe gets a poke check. Henderson controls, still controls it. Swings it out, and who's in the slot? Chuck Prynn with a little dipsy-doodle. Down in, Howgate with a save on the short side. Vecchione around, in on the far side. No score. Prynn looks up, Stroud on defense. Prynn out across the slot, and Greely will pick it up. Now there's some forechecking. Out is Phil Sharp, and he'll try to ride off the Yarmouth defense. Nice poke check by Hogenkamp. He takes it down the far wing, neutral ice. Slap shot goes wide of Howgate on the near side. In with a big check is Magnabo, and we've got a puck that just skidded all the way up to this end of the ice. I think it was deflected by the referee, and the face-off will be in the Greely end of the ice. 13:30 in the second period. Clippers up by 2-0. Unusual because Clippers do not generally get on the board to any extent in the first period. Of course, rivalries and playoffs can mean throwing the records right out the window. The adrenaline's pumping, and everybody wants a piece of everything else. Face off in the near wing, flip down behind. Going to be picked up by Greely over in the wing, and there's Greely on the breakout. Backhand in by Todd Hatch. Shane Strout fires it. He's hit up high. Chad Gillis will control it, and that one is out in front of Sweetland in the net. Yarmouth got caught running around. Chad Gillis, who usually controls the puck, did not do so, and Shane Strout, back on defense, allowed Greely to get in with a quick snapshot, and they now bring this game closer 2-1. And that can happen when you have the rivalries, and the Clippers started cruising in the second period. Sweetland, didn't see that one. I don't know if it went through the 5-hole or on the near side, but the Greely Rangers have brought it back with him. Todd Hatch got a number of scores, and Tim Duffy. Todd Hatch from Duffy. That's Duffy on the assist. I don't know what number he is. I think he's 15. Up the boards, Johnson snaps it out to Henderson, and it's still kept in. Yarmouth going to have to get the puck out of the zone. Henderson rides it into the attack zone. Ridden off the puck and just drops it for Greely. Backhand. Slap shot by Donosky goes wide on the short side. Henderson in. Jawler can't handle it. Out to the point. Rich looks, fires down in. Donosky got a skate on it, but he couldn't get it away. Rich again, and Greely will break it out. McDonough with a backhand snapshot gloved by Greely, and Joe Rich will control the puck. Slap shot by Rich. Howgate lets it go by on the short side. May have gotten a stick on it. Yarmouth pressing across the crease. Could not connect. And there's an interesting call. Ben Donosky checking. He got down low. I couldn't call it a high check. It looked more like a rugby scrum with 12:17 to go. Face-off will be in the Greely defensive end of the ice. Advantage to Yarmouth, but the Greely Rangers have picked up a quick goal in the second period. Yarmouth picks up a penalty. I hope that wasn't on Ben Donosky. That would have been a terrible call. Oh yeah, that's a Greely penalty. That's absolutely great call, great call. I mean, I saw that all the way. Down in, Vecchione loses it. Over into Prynn's quadrant. Greely will pick it up, and they'll drive it out. Sweetland forced to make a save as it came down the pipe. Hogenkamp up to Prynn, and Prynn loose. Vecchione sees it. Howgate watches it go to the near wing. Greely try to break it out. We've got a little running around down in the zone. It comes out over Strout's head. He gloves it. A wrist shot. Strout does not get it away. Prynn tries to get it, and there's a shot again on Sweetland on the short side. Sweetland up the boards, and it's not handled by Vecchione. Magnabo comes out of bounds as Magnabo and Bradford meet up with each other, and Andy doesn't like anyone from Yarmouth anyway. He's still chirping away. I'm going to do this and wait till I get in the parking lot, and where's my goalie stick? 122 on the Greely penalty. Yarmouth, an excellent record on power plays, starting off a little ragged in that contest, but McDonough will get out. He and Johnson on the points. They use Johnson on the point, Rich up forward. Phil Sharp gets on to Rich, and Greely will drive that one out of the zone. So the Clippers will have to be tougher on the power play. Johnson starts up the out around one man. He's got some room. Sharp will be in on him. Johnson dumps it. Phillip greets him with a check. Hello, Phillip. Hello, Sven. Smash. Nice to see you in your face. Duffy over in the corner, and Greely thus far keeping the Clippers from getting a shot. Rich loose. Shot down in. Howgate makes a save on the short side. Greely will try to dump it out. McDonough gets a stick on it, and Sharp will knock it out. Brian Magnabo, only about 37 seconds, and Yarmouth, although dumping it in, a little rough on the power play. Greely confused him. McDonough tries to skate kick it, and he's cruising out there. Ryan comes up the ice. He's going to make up for it now. Dumps it in. Howgate made a pad save. Vecchione got a stick on it, and Greely will knock it out. 15 seconds to go. Johnson back, and we'll be all even. Johnson looks over on the far wing. Signal to Magnabo. Magnabo over. Picked up by Henderson. Henderson, he's got one unassisted goal. Fires. Howgate mishandles it. And Hazer puts it about mid-glove high, and just as the power play ran out, Henderson picks up his second goal of the game. Coming out of the defensive end. It may have been just as the power play ended, and as I commented earlier, that's a dangerous time. You don't know where your player is. You think you got him back, and some of the others are waiting to come off the ice. 10-16, Clippers go up 3-1, but Greely back in the game on a quick goal. Ryan McDonough got that one up to the Hayes. Two juniors for Yarmouth. Clippers due to have a strong team next year. Ben Barry. Shane Strout tries to dribble it again, and he has it taken away. Out across the line. Nice poke check by Hogenkamp. You don't dribble against the Greely fast forwards. I don't know if the coach has to repeat that a lot. I'm sure somebody will get the message, and we'll get an icing call. With 10 minutes to go, it's 3-1. Face-off will be in the Yarmouth defensive end of the ice. Clippers have gone up 3-1. They have really come out storming. Shots on Allen in the second period, 7-3. 8-3. Advantage Clippers thus far. Ben Barry on the face-off. Face-off is in the Yarmouth defensive zone. The Yarmouth Steel Curtain senior goalie George Sweetland hunkers down. Shane Strout, what's he doing? He lost his stick to Todd Hatch out there. Hogenkamp comes up the ice, a little dribbling. Nice move, and it's in the Yarmouth zone, not out. This is where Yarmouth got hurt last time. Gillis up the boards. Ben Barry flicks it, and Barry gets the puck. He's hit from behind, and there's a check. Ham Bradford checked himself into the boards, checked himself into the hospital, checked himself. He didn't like that. He's ugly. And the Clippers will try to pick it up. Crowd getting into the game. Clippers forechecking now. They'll try to get a shot. Barry and Bradford will pick it up and drive it out. Gillis, nice check. And that's driven all the way into Sweetland, so no icing will be called. Greely's strategy to dump it right at George and try to get away with a line change with no icing. Strout puts it over to the far side. Ben Barry in, gets a stick on it. Greely will try to get it out. And Brian Hogenkamp stays home, just a level-headed defenseman, and will pick it up. Puck loose. Greely tries to break it out of the neutral zone. Strout with a poke check. Nice job. It's tied up on the boards, and Greely takes it away. Good back checking by Magnabo. Now we got 3 Yarmouth players over with 2 Greely players. I don't understand that combination. It's not a good idea. And if it hadn't been for Prynne, we would have had a 2-man down temporary situation. Hogenkamp back. Strout covers up in front of the net. Hoagie looks. Bounces it. Oh, doesn't bounce it up the boards. Faked it. Doesn't get it out. Loose puck. Vecchione tries to flick it, and the Greely Rangers still have it in. When the Clippers start fibbly-fubbling around and the puck keeps into the zone, that's when we get in trouble. Nice move by Hogenkamp. Flipped it out by Jolliffe, and Greely forced to tag up. Gives Yarmouth a chance to command its own defensive end of the ice. Strout looks. Backhand. Up the boards. Over to Prynne. Got a breakaway. Vecchione. Prynne dumps it at Howgate. Chris makes a stop. Greely will try to drive it out. Yarmouth does get a line change, and Jolliffe will try to dribble it up the ice. Long pass. off the skate of a Yarmouth player, out of bounds, and the face-off will be in the neutral zone. 7:58. Clippers lead by 3-1, but that's a narrow margin against a competitive squad like the Greely Rangers. Clipper juggernaut continues. They'd like to finish up last game of the regular season with a win to command top standings in the heels. I think they'll need to win this one to do it. Henderson, Donosky, Johnson on the forward line. Dangerous forward line. McDonough and Rich, two big boys on defense. Donosky crams them into the boards. Henderson. Joe Rich will get a stick on it. McDonough whacks it into the zone. Loose puck. Donosky gets it, shovels it over. Johnson with a check, and that leaves it for Henderson. Fires in on Howgate. It goes high and wide over into the near wing corner. Johnson with a check, leaves it for Donosky. Donosky loses it. Then Greely will try to break it out. Johnson takes it in his skates. He and Todd Hatch mix it up. Jolliffe will come in. Whoop, Jolliffe is going to grab Johnson around the neck. That's an interesting hold. Kind of a Chief, I would say a Chief J. Strongbow sort of move. 7:19, 3-1. Ben Donosky, Hayes, Henderson, and Sven Johnson still in. McDonough and Rich on the point. Yarmouth would like to try to get another one here, another insurance goal. Henderson will control it. Loose puck. He's held up. Howgate flicks it aside. Greely will pick it up, but Donosky in on good forechecking. Hatch will tie it up with Henderson. Now the three Greely players are wailing around with Yarmouth, and that doesn't give it Greely any advantage. And we'll get a whistle on the play. What have we got? Penalty on Greely. I think it should be a penalty on Greely. Checking from behind and on top of the head, but we won't get that. They'll give them the advantage. 6:59. Ben Barry out. Has a brief talk with Brian Hogenkamp and Roger Moore. Gillis on the right wing. Shane Strout looks. He'd like to get a shot away here. Fought for over into the near wing corner. Yarmouth thus far controlling territorially, but they haven't really been able to put any quality shots on Chris Howgate. Won by Hogenkamp. Slap shot goes down in. Attempted tip goes wide, and Greely now will break it out. Nice glove by Hogenkamp. Strout whacks at it. Good job. Hogenkamp picks it up. He's loose, and he gets the puck away. Skate kick. Barry tries to get it. Slapped in by Roger Moore, and it goes out of bounds. We'll get another face-off. Clippers able to, for a few minutes here, press Greely back into their own defensive zone. They'll get a line change and bring out Sharp, Duffy, and Carolyn to try to drive it into Yarmouth defensive end, into Sweetland's pads from the transition zone. Magnabo on the face-off. That one is controlled by Prynn. He'll dump it down in. Near wing. Vecchione in on the forecheck. Knocked out by Sharp, and this one is picked up by Hogenkamp. A turnaround. Big check by Prynn on Duffy, but Greely will break it out. They'll go wide. One-hander. They'll try to bring it in. Nice poke check. Vecchione can reach it, but he's held up. Strout gets it in his pads. Swings it over. Prynn. Good footsteps on that one, and big check by Barry, and the Clippers are getting caught in their own zone again. Carolyn looks. They try to put it out front, and we'll get a whistle on the play as the net is dislodged. Greely in the crease, and the face-off will go to outside, or it should go to outside. Several Greely players skating around the crease. The Clippers will have to drive it out of their zone. Greely took advantage of that last time. Yarmouth's top line, Johnson, Henderson, and Donosky. Rich and McDonough out. And Henderson gets it. McDonough, so he sees an opening, and he's got some room, fires it over to Donosky. Can Donosky pick it up before the icing call? One-hand sweep, he does. Howgate flicks it down behind the net. Johnson picks it up. Got the puck. Greely's got the puck. Clippers got the puck. Joe Rich And McDonough is back. Backhand outside the zone. It does not get out. It does get out. I'm not sure it did get out. I think Greely has probably got a right to talk on that one. We'll take it. We'll take it. I mean, after having so many one-sided calls against Yarmouth, we'll take it. Face off in the neutral zone. 5:30 remaining. Last goal by the Clippers was Henderson from McDonough. Henderson dealt a hot hand tonight. Magnabo, one of the co-captains, into the face-off circle. Puck fired up. It's going to be controlled by Magnabo. It's taken away by Greely, and McDonough will have to hustle back. Blind pass by McDonough, and that one is on Sweetland. Ryan McDonough fired it with his head down, and that one dribbled right up to the Greely point man and was dangerous. Sweetland had to take it on the short side. 5:19. Not much time elapsed off the clock. Pace of the game appears to have slowed down. Backhand out to the point. Shot. Deflects off an ankle. McDonough, nice poke check. And again, he misses the pass right out to the point. Deflected. That one bounces. Prin's got it. Up the ice is Magnabo. Prin one-hands it. Got some room. Out to Magnabo, and it's intercepted by a Greely defenseman. It looks as if they broke the play up. Magnabo out in front. And Greely will be satisfied with an icing call. Sweetland will let it go by, and we'll get an icing waved off. Can't for the life of me understand why. Control by Prin. Prin dumps it at Howgate. Double pad save, Butterfly. McDonough watches Jolliffe. Down in, Howgate will get a blocker on it, I believe. Gillis looks. He'll whip it at Howgate, and Howgate will take it in the faceplate. And Jolliffe, Brian Jolliffe, didn't like Brian McDonough. Brian Jolliffe thus far had been out of the penalty box. I know he missed it. And he's having a little, right in the referee's face, bumped him. Uh-oh. That could be bad news, boss. I don't think he gave him more than 2 minutes, but I don't think you get in the referee's face and bounce him with your mask on. No. He has given him 4 minutes. That little yes! That little action did not help Mr. Jolliffe. Got the tape. Try to keep the audience participation down a little. All right, Clippers have got a power play, and Greely does get it out of the zone. Johnson will hustle back. Sven Johnson, very versatile player, can play defense or offense. Comes up the ice. Johnson one way, goes another, and Joe Rich was chasing it, couldn't quite pick it up. Donorski fights for it. Henderson fights for it, and this one is controlled by Rich. Greely almost had a short-handed attempt here. They're going to hustle hard. They got 3 minutes and 36 seconds to kill off, and they've punched it back into the transition zone. Clippers will have to get on the ball on the power play here. Henderson, Johnson, and Donorski. And Johnson will now go down on the forward line, and he and Rich may exchange places before this is over. Henderson on the face-off, does get it back to McDonough. McDonough looks up. Henderson, a little flip pass over to Donorski. Donorski tips it into the zone. He's got it. Loose puck. It's intercepted nicely by Greely. McDonough has it. Over to Rich. Rich slams it. Howgate with a pad save. Greely, player got it tied up in his skates. McDonough down the corner. Henderson looks around. It's intercepted nicely by Todd Sharp. Just picked somebody's pocket. And Greely thus far has killed off a minute. Clippers can't prove just because, that's out in the high slot area by Rich to nobody in particular. Off Johnson's skate. Johnson will control it. Looks one way, goes another. Dumps, and then they'll go in on the forecheck and try to force the Greely defenseman to make it cough up. Henderson will control it. And there's a missed assignment on that one. Johnson tried to get it out in front. In the net by Henderson. He's picked up the big hat. He's the hat. Henderson on Brian Jolliffe's penalty. And the Clippers will go up 4-1 with 3:09 in the second period. And Brian Jolliffe may regret bouncing his face mask off the referee's face. I mean, that's rather tender. They don't have a face mask there. It makes them ugly. 3:09 remaining. And I don't believe he will come out for this. Now we've got another goalie coming in. It looks like Peter Halsley is going to replace Chris Howgate. Eddie Harding is going to give the players a rest, and Chris Howgate, the senior goalie, playing his last regular game, going to come out. Who got that? Sven Johnson? Sven Johnson score! I give it to Hayes Henderson. Well, what do I know? Sorry there, I get my own Ben Barry, or Ben. Sven Johnson puts it away. Ben Donosky got the assist. I'm hollering hat trick Hayes. Well, I believe George, I'd like to give a comment. George Riley, my neighbor here, was helping me out hollering hat trick, and of course, being a follow the leader type, I went right along with you. And not being too smart either, may I say, George. The only bright one up here is Alan Carter, who's keeping cool and said, will you guys shut up, I'll write it down for you.
I thought it was Hayes.
I thought it was too, it looked like it. Well, Hayes was raising his hand, so he's smart. He was nowhere near the net, but he was getting credit for the goal. I think he's going to be a politician. Sven Johnson picks up a goal. Sven, I'm sorry about that. Ben Donosky on the assist. And the Clippers are now up 4-1. And this would be an unusual occurrence. The Clippers will get up 5-1 in the game against a very tough team, Greely Rangers. Peter Halsley shut down South Portland in one game, and I believe he handled the Thornton game in which the score was 7-4. So he gets a big cheer from Greely fans. George Sweetland. Ed wouldn't want that. Hey, Chris having a tough night. Tough goalie, he'll be back. George Sweetland, what can you say about the steel curtain from Yarmouth? He stood on his head, and only one has gone in, and that was on a misplay by Yarmouth, not clearing the zone in time. Yarmouth will have now 2 minutes remaining on Brian Jolliffe's power play. And of course the Clippers would like to thank Brian Jolliffe for the first goal, and they're hoping to get a second one, although I'm not sure Brian is in the mood to accept thanks, but we'll take it anyway. Good athlete. Good baseball player. I understand John Winkin looking at him. And that brings up another subject. I'm glad to see John Winkin looking at Maine high school players, because Sean Walsh can't see anything but Canada. I'm going to give him a different map. I'm going to send him a map of Maine. And of course, Ed Harding, I tried to dissuade him from spreading the Canadian myth that Maine high school players can't play Division I. There's one right there, potential Ryan McDonough. Another one, Johnson. Rich. My book is, and you got some on Greely. You got Phil Sharp and Jolliffe over there, Todd Sharp and so on. Come on, guys, get with the program. Joe Rich. Big Canadian myth being spread around, and of course that enables all the Canadians to get into a taxpayer-supported school. Show 2 shots on Halsley, and thus far stopped. Big slap shot by McDonough. Did that one get stopped? No, it's over on the near wing. Stop editorializing Johnson and concentrate on the game. Greely will break it out. Sweetland will be forced to make a stop, and their dump passes, interestingly, go right at Sweetland. Johnson starts up the ice. Big poke check. Henderson controls it. Gets out around one man, still controls the puck, loses it, and Peter Halsey puts it to the corner. Out in front, right to Greely. Now, I don't think Henderson intended to do that. Johnson got it in his skate. Junior Sven Johnson looks up. Out around. Whoop, he's plunked by his friend Phil Sharp. Up high, no call. And the Clippers are not energetic on this power play. There's one over a little do-si-do. I want to say that Brian McNamara got away with a dive, and Phil Sharp is going to go to the box. Oh, he'll be some ugly. I don't know, maybe it wasn't Phil Sharp. That was, yes, it was Phil. And I know what Philip is saying right now. He's saying, oh, rats. Darn. Oh, darn. Oh, gosh. I didn't mean it. Yarmouth will have 45 seconds on Brian Jolliffe penalty, and 2 minutes left. They'll go into the third period on Phil Sharp's penalty. Minute 54, but they have not been able to put it away on this one. Strout, nice move. He took the check. Didn't hear footsteps like that. Ben Donosky with a slap shot down in. Halsey's made the saves, and Greely will break it out. as Peter Halsey has, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, Prido. Shane Strout comes around, looks up ice, he's got some room, got Vecchione, could head man. Strout tries to dribble in the zone, and he gets tripped up, and he should have dumped it in, my opinion. Out to the point. Hogenkamp, slap shot down in. Quinn! Down in and Halsey, and he couldn't put it away. The Clippers cannot break it down on a two-man down. Firing all over the place, and they got one man back. Down in on Peter Halsey. Goes wide on the shot side. Prin takes a hit up high. They won't get a call on that one. Vecchione controls it. Bradford tries to take it away. A couple guys know each other. Bradford, took it right away from Vecchione. Michael was loafing on that one. And Greely will break it out short-handed while the Clippers seem to have gone into cruise control. Big check by Phil Sharp doesn't go anywhere. That's not Phil Sharp, that's number 20. Big check over there on the boards. McDonough, and we're going to get a whistle on the play and icing on Yarmouth. So maybe the Greely frustration is coming into play. They're killed off a two-man down situation, and Yarmouth has 40 seconds to go on this to connect on the power play. And coming out, they got Henderson, McNaboe, Johnson, Rich, and McDonough, the 5-iron horsemen. Power play goals in the 90th percentile. Henderson on the face-off, back to McDonough, whips it up. Nice play by McDonough, and he couldn't, McNaboe couldn't keep it in. Ryan tries to dribble it along the boards. Awful tough dribbling it on those boards. And McDonough goes back against the grain. Pass up to Henderson. Henderson over to Rich. Rich up on the forward line. Duffy tries to ride him off. Henderson's got the puck. Fires down on Halsey. Down in, and it's flicked away. 18 seconds to go. McDonough with a nice crash. A little dive there. I'd give him maybe a 2.5 on the mid-meter board. Puck over to Rich. Slap shot by Rich, and it doesn't go in. We're going to the third period, 4-1. 16 seconds, or what do we got here? 6 seconds remaining on the Greely power play. Clippers lead 4-1 in the second period. Greely's hatch from Duffy. Yarmouth 15-6. 20-6. That's wrong. They're off by 5. The Greely scorekeeper's doing an excellent job, but they missed 5 shots. And we have Hayes Henderson from Ryan McDonough, Sven Johnson from Ben Donoski. It's 4-1, and expect a very exciting third period here at the North Yarmouth Academy Ice Arena. This is Wayne Johnson on the play-by-play and video. Alan Carter and George Riley on the stats. Yarmouth Clippers versus the Greely Rangers, the last regular season game. Clippers leading by a score of 4-1, but you never say you're completed a hockey game till the last buzzer has rung. 6 seconds to go on the Greely penalty. Brian Jolliffe took a double minor, and Phil Sharp picked up a minor. It's 5-on-4 at this point. Yarmouth able to put 1 goal away in the first 2 minutes of the Jolliffe penalty. Unable to collect thus far in the remaining portion of Phil Sharp's minor penalty. Hayes Henderson will be on the face-off circle with John Carolan, and Henderson will win the face-off. And he does. McDonough hustles. He tries to beat Duffy. Johnson will have to go in, and the puck is picked up by Henderson. The penalty's over. Phil Sharp came out with a check. Puck is dumped into the Yarmouth zone. Icing waved off. Joe Rich, I think, thought it would be called. Now he has to pick it up. Johnson tips it out. Driven in by Duffy. Looks like a save on Sweetland, and Captain Joe Rich dumps it into the attack zone. Donoski gets it. Johnson over on the near wing. Johnson flicks it over to Donoski. He can't get it, and Duffy tries to get it. Johnson with a check on Duffy, and that leaves big Joe Rich. Joe Rich with a slap shot. Johnson tried the tip and went to the far wing corner. John Carolan tried to get it. Ben Donoski has got it out to the point. McDonough in. Johnson with a great tip, and it just missed on the far side. Hulsey thus far has shut the Clippers down. And who is by is Phil Sharp. And Joe Rich going to pick a penalty up on that one, as Phil Sharp had beat him, and he's down, but I think he's going to be all right. Hope he's all right. You're just seeing how the crowd's taking it. So Greely will get a power play and a kind of a ragged way to start the third period. Yarmouth with a couple of nice shots. Johnson with a couple attempted tips. And Johnson picked up the fourth goal, but Greely will have a power play. So Greely has a chance to get back in the contest, and the Clippers will have to kill this off. Prinn, Hogenkamp, Magnabo, and Strout. Puck out to the point. Bradford flicks it over to Duffy. He'll fire it down. It bounces off the skates of Strout over to the corner. Bradford's got some room. Sweetland doesn't even get it, and Prinn tries to get a stick on it. Still in the zone. Down in, they're in on Sweetland. There's a puck loose. Big pile-up. No call, and we'll get Greely out again. Down is, looks like McDonough. Out in front. Sweetland with a great save. There's Greely thus far keeping the puck in the zone. A backhand. Clippers try not to break the ball. Hatch with a shot. Sweetland with a save, and it's in the net. Greely's now back in 4-2. And the penalty killing unit did not do much killing of penalties because they did not get it out of the Greely zone. They let Greely freely pass the puck around. Phil Sharp looks like he may have injured his leg on the last play, but I don't know. He may just be limping and all of a sudden turn on the afterburners. Andy Bradford. Bradford from Hatch and Tim Duffy, and the Clippers are going to have to get back in this game. Greely got him pumped up. Duffy got a hold of the puck, scooped out in front of Sweetland, goes wide, and the Greely Rangers have decided to play hockey in the third period. Clippers not able to get it out of the zone as a Johnson comes in with a check. As Donosky. Players all mixed up. Tough one, you can't even see your own family. Johnson out to Henderson. Henderson backhand over to Donosky, and the Clippers will suffer an icing call. So the third period bell has not been answered vigorously by the Yarmouth High Clippers. They've sailed onto the shoals with 12:44, letting Greely get a power play goal in the first part of the third period. That certainly narrows the score. Clippers didn't get it out of their own zone on that power play. Joe Rich signals. Henderson down in front of Sweetland. Donosky gives chase. Really very aggressive opening the third period. Forechecking, keeping it in the Yarmouth zone. Loose puck. Johnson will start down the ice. He gets it over to Henderson, and Henderson can't handle it. Clippers looked as if they came out in the third period and decided to sit on the lead. Henderson tries to get it. There's a check, gloved easily by McDonough. Henderson gets a stick on it. And Joe Rich gets caught. Clippers are not playing intensively in the third period. One man who's playing intensively, Johnson. In on Todd Sharp. He gets away, and Henderson leaves the puck. Skate kick, and it's tipped out nicely by 20 of Greely. So Clippers with a bit of ragged play here in the third period. Nicely slapped in. Sweetland takes it on the far side. Greely going to try to get an advantage here just by dumping it at Sweetland. And they're putting on a big forechecking charge. Henderson down behind the net. He's got some room. Up to Johnson, and the pass is wide. Andy Bradford, who scored that last goal, nicely picked up by McDonough. Bradford tips it out in front of Sweetland. He'll take it on the short side and a little pushing and shoving. Bradford trips someone, knocks him down, and referees may not call anything here. Clippers decided to cruise into the third period and give up a power play goal. Joe Rich beat on defense, and now we're going to have to gather in and tighten the netting and toughen up. Face-off will be in the Yarmouth end. Phil Sharp will try to take the face-off against Magnabo. Magnabo wins it. Sharp holds him up, and Greely controls the puck. Still in the Yarmouth zone. Joe Rich looks, bounces it up the boards, and we'll get an icing call. 11:20. And Clippers again will be in their own defensive end of the ice. And if they keep fooling around like this, Greely is going to get another goal. Magnabeau again won that face-off. Sharp will try to get it. Vecchione gets a stick on it, gets it across the blue line. Flipped in up high. Greely will control. And Sharp allowed just to run in with the puck. Now it's kept in by Duffy. Joe Rich sees it, puts it on the defenseman's stick. Yarmouth sweeps it out. Vecchione lets it. And Vecchione not playing very intensively. He better put it in the net on this one. Got Chuck Prinn coming down. Vecchione in, and he doesn't get a shot away. Vecchione will pick it up. In on the sweep. Can't beat Halsey on the short side. A quick whistle. Oh, Peter Halsey got the advantage of a quick whistle. The puck was rolling around like a big can of tuna fish, and the Greely Rangers got the advantage of the call. Phil Sharp saying, great call. Oh, boy, that was a quick call. Like that. Do some more. And the Clippers out will have a conversation here as they really let Greely press them into their own end of the ice. Clippers, opportunity here with Ben Barry on the face-off circle, and the crowd is getting a little more excited. 4-2, closer game. Barry wins the face-off. Nice job. Gets in on the board. Big check by Barry, and Todd Hatch will be crunched into the boards by Roger Moore. Ben Barry crunches Todd Hatch in. I guess the Greely folks all want a call on that one. Shane Strout tries to dribble in, and it's a dangerous play. Should sweep that in, and Todd Hatch will break it out. Strout pushes Hatch into the board, but the puck is in the Clipper end of the ice. Back is Roger Moore. He's taken off the puck. Greely pressing hard. Sweetland will cover it up. The Clippers are giving up in their own zone. At least they're not applying themselves intensively to this game. Let's see if we can get some intensive play out of Sven Johnson, Hayes Henderson, and Ben Donosky, backed up by two premier defensemen, two of the best in the state, in Ryan McDonough and big senior Joe Rich. 10-13. All even. Henderson and Sharp. Henderson controls it over to Johnson's quadrant. Johnson controls it, flips it by, but he doesn't get it by, and the puck is still in the zone. McDonough tries to get it out. Sven Johnson flips it by one man. They attempt to trip him, and Henderson hit high, and no call on that one, and the puck is flipped out of bounds as Duffy interfered with Johnson, tried to stick him and hold him up, and Henderson took a hit. And of course, Greely thinks that's just great. All the Greely crowd charges, and they raise their fists. And of course, what's going to happen is going to make Hayes ugly, and he's going to put the puck in the net. Oh, don't make him ugly. He's one goal away from a hat trick. I gave him credit for it. Sven Johnson got the goal. Phil Sharp, Hayes Henderson, puck loose, high fly ball. Joe Rich will have to give chase. Phil Sharp will be right in on him. Rich and Sharp battle for it. Johnson out around one man to Henderson. Nice job. And it's not out of the zone, as I can tell. McDonough's going to have to hustle. Rich tries to get Duffy, and Greely, big pressure out in front of Sweetland. The net is moved, and Greely wants a delay of game, and will they get it? And Joe Rich may get a penalty for delay of game.
I think he was pushed into it.
Hope he doesn't. The call up here was he was pushed into the net. But nope. Joe Rich is going to get a penalty for delay of game. And Clippers have got to play hockey in their own zone much smarter than that, because they're not getting the puck out. Greely Rangers dominating the third period at this point in time. Sweetland out of the net. And Greely has another power play. They put a goal away on the last power play. Now let's see who Coach Davis has out to guard the shop here. Magnabo. Sweetland sees it, flicks it aside. Greely will try to put it upstairs. There's a lot of scrambling, and Sweetland will make the stop. Oh, Greely still putting pressure on. Clippers normally a third period team. Bob Davis will bring Sven Johnson out. Johnson normally has a lot of success killing off penalties, the junior. McDonough. Johnson. Looks like Magnabo. And it may be Shane Strout back on the other point. Magnabo on the face-off. Comes out to Jolliffe. He'll backpedal, give himself a position. Sweetland does not stop it. And Greely, taking advantage of a lethargic Clipper team, has brought this closer 4-3 as the Yarmouth Clippers have decided to go home. And of course, what happens is once you give a team momentum like that, then they start putting the game to you. And Peter Housley has kept the Clippers out of the net. Clippers lacking all intensity in the third period. 9:20 to go. Now let's see who's going to dig down. Andy Bradford from Brian Jolliffe, and the Clippers will be under pressure now. Momentum Greely. Crowd getting into it. Clippers are going to have to tuck in their shirt tails and start playing hockey. Johnson with a stick on it. Henderson fires on Halsey. Didn't even see it. It went wide. Magnabo. Johnson with a nice tip. And there's a little bit of intensity there. Johnson and Jolliffe mix it up. Johnson working on him. Bangs him, and Jolliffe are not like that. Henderson gets it. Jolliffe takes him up high, knocks him down. Over on the board. Johnson will come in. McDonough down in, and Peter Halsey picks up a shot. So now the Clippers are getting serious about business. A little late. Some 8 minutes or 7 minutes into the period, as Sven Johnson, Hayes Henderson, and company were in putting pressure on Peter Halsey, but they did not put the puck by him. That's one of the ingredients. Really excited after being down 4-1. Brian Magnabo down in on Halsey. It goes wide on the short side. Vecchione decides to go around the net. Strout with a wrist shot down in. Halsey doesn't see it, and he's getting the advantage of a lot of quick whistles. Didn't have control of it, but it was under him, and the referees have come up big for Greely. 8:43, 4-3 Greely. Score is closer. Clippers, big third period letdown. Now the question is, who will come back? Who wants it the most? Vecchione on the face-off. Michael gets a stick on it. That one is a hit up high, no call, and puck knocked in. Now we need some heavy forechecking from the Clippers. Holding up there mid-ice. Vecchione doesn't get it. Magnabo tries to get it. Shane Strout. Nice shot by Strout. Halsey makes a stop, and nobody in to help him. Hogenkamp slides it down in, and Todd Hatch will break it out. Prin keeps it in. Puck loose, and Greely has a couple of floaters. By Strout. Sharp in. Sweetland sees it go wide, and it's out of bounds. Face off. With a new puck. 4-3, 8:07. Clippers needing an extra surge here. Greely coming from behind. Clippers 2-0 the first period, and a 4-1 score at the end of the second period. Greely scoring on 2 power plays. Phil Sharp in against Ben Barry. Big Ben. Puck loose, shot goes wide of Sweetland. That was a quick one across the face-off circle. Puck loose, flipped in. Chad Gillis tries to get it. McDonough with a sweep. That's Joe Rich with a sweep, and Phil Sharp against McDonough. Big poke check by McDonough, and he hauls him down, and the going to be a penalty, I believe, on Ryan McDonough, unless he gets away with it. Looks like he got away with it. Clippers, nice over to Chad Gillis, and he can't put it away. Roger Moore has it poked. Ben Barry has it poke checked away. Greely almost into a box situation. In the net by Roger Moore, and Brian Jolliffe should have get a penalty for shoving after the whistle. The Clippers go up 5-3, and Jolliffe, irritated, could not take it and pushed him down after the score. Good clean goal, nothing wrong with it. And the Clippers, third line, punches it by Peter Housley, and that's what they needed to do. Because Housley has come up big, 7:29. Clippers needed that goal. Greely had momentum. And the Clippers have now put it out 5-3. And they may have put the fire out in this game if they can begin to work a little harder with a little more intensity. We're on the cruise lines at the beginning of the third period. I believe Roger Moore is going to get that one. That was a good setup, good hustling on the Clipper forechecking, which brought that about. Face-off, controlled by nobody. Strout tried to dribble it. Then Barry, Johnson will get it. He's hit up high, but he leaves the puck to Henderson. There's a little boarding, no call on that one, and Greeley Rangers are frustrated. Strout will get it. Tries to dribble, but you get it out across the line. Johnson out around one player, a backhand. In is Ben Donorski. He will get the puck. Loose puck, and it's picked up by Greely. Hogenkamp takes him off with a poke check. Loose puck. Down in on Sweetland. Looks like a save. There's a high fly ball, and that one is loose. Shane Strout is held. He's got plenty of room if he looks up. Strout headmans to, looks like Johnson. Sweeps it over. Johnson rides off a check. Ben Donorski taps it. And Shane Strout way in on the forward line, and what's he doing in there? Johnson has to go back and cover up, and Strout making numerous mistakes in the last few games. Shane's got to be careful, maybe riding the pine, and that one maybe a hitting from behind on Henderson. Not called. In on him is Vecchione, flipped over, and Prinn will get to it. Prinn gets it. Brian Jolliffe hits him up high. Prinn ducks under the check, and Jolliffe holding on to him. Vecchione out to the point. Nice move. Wrist shot down in. Can't be put away. Duffy and Henderson. Henderson rides it off nicely. Duffy down. Good skate kick by Henderson. Vecchione. Henderson gets out of round one, and there's a lot of chippy play going on. Clippers knocked down in. Phil Sharp will pick it up. He'll try to break it out. McDonough takes him off the puck, and we're going to get a whistle on the play and a slash. And who are they going to call it on? Chuck Prinn gets a slashing call. A lot of hitting going on, but I think some frustration coming out. And now Yarmouth will be given another unwarranted penalty by the Greely referees. 5:43. And Greely has put away 2 power play goals. The Clippers are going to have to get the unit out that best kills off the penalty. 20, face-off, back, and it's controlled by Greely. Sharp bounces it over Joe Rich's head. Loose puck, McDonough will get it. Swings it around, and Jolliffe will just easily control it. Johnson looks, and he loses his stick. One of the elements of the game is that's Donorski with a stick. McDonough, nice flip pass, and 1:37 will remain on the clock as Brian Jolliffe roams back in, takes his time. Long pass up to number 20, and Greely tries to break it in. They'll knock it by Sweetland. Big Joe Rich will pick it up, and Ham Bradford takes a shot at Sweetland, and Joe Rich may pick up his number as Ham jammed his stick right up into George Sweetland. 5:03, 1:20 on the penalty. 5-3 Yarmouth. Picked up a big goal from Roger Moore. Clippers, third period. Is not a typical Clippers third period. We're going to get a timeout. Greely takes a timeout. Ed Harding figures that he can rally his troops and take advantage of this. We'll be back with the action in just a minute. Group, and let's see if the regrouping helps the penalty killers. Ed Harding drew out several very complicated plays on the ice, and before the players absorbed them, the plays had melted. But Ed is not deterred. Face-off advantage goes to Greely. They're on a power play, and they have the Clippers in their own zone. Phil Sharp goes up against a very effective face-off person in Hayes Henderson. Henderson loses it. Jolliffe fires one, it goes wide. McDonough wraps it around, and no Greely player was over to take advantage of it on the point. Halsey stops it. Jolliffe comes back, makes a swing with 1:07. Brian Jolliffe may try to take it in himself. Little flip pass. Joe Rich looks up, and the puck is out of the zone. Henderson and Jolliffe battle for it. Henderson gets it back, and Greely will try to regroup in the transition zone. Todd Sharp will bring it across the line. Joe Rich lets him go, and Sharp in. Sweetland loses it. George having an awful night tonight, and he's in from a very low percentage as Todd Sharp brings it within one again. Greely, I think, maybe 100% on the power play. And Todd Sharp comes out and gives the big pump to the Greely audience, because that will only make the Yarmouth team irritated. And now he's saying in your face to Yarmouth, oh, you don't want to do that. The game isn't over yet. And Greely has now brought the game 5-4. Clippers cruise into the third period, and now they're in a game. Chuck Prynne looks up. Big check, nice check. Puck out across the line. Prynne looks, gets out around one man, has it again, knocks it in. Halsey sticks it aside to the near wing. Vecchione in. He'll go up against Jolliffe, who takes him down, no call. Todd Sharp, who scored that last goal, moves it out. And a missed poke check by Strout. And how many times is the Yarmouth defense going to cough it up? Wrapped around the boards, and the puck is across the blue line. Off Prynne's faceplate, it looked. Vecchione in on the check. This one is going to be mishandled, skate kick, nicely picked up, dumped in by McNaboe, and Yarmouth will get a line change. And they're going to have to come out a little faster on this one. Johnson does. Comes out on Duffy, and Duffy's wheels do not take him by Johnson's poke check. Duffy dumps it into the corner, and hustling in, and Brian Hogenkamp not hustling enough as Greely is hungry. They're in. They want this game. Sweetland sees it go by. Phil Sharp has got a puck, hand on the puck. Donosky ridden off, held up. Look at him holding right there. Jolliffe holding him, and he's going to get a penalty. And there's Johnson. What a great move by Sven Johnson. Came in on Halsey and couldn't quite put it away. I don't think I got that move until the last part of it. I mean, he just had burned the Greely defense, and I'd picked up the penalty on Jolliffe, and Johnson was just in on Halsey, and Halsey made a terrific blocker save. Johnson just in with a move. Clippers now have a power play in which they'll try to put this one away. Greely has put away 3 power play goals. That was not Jolliffe. I thought it was Brian Jolliffe holding. There was some other player who's used to holding. Phil Sharp taps Joe Rich on the pad. So Joe can take you to the cleaners. Hayes Henderson down, out to McDonough, over to Johnson. Johnson looks, can't handle it, over to McDonough. Nice play. McDonough's got a loose spot off the ankle of a Greely player, and he's still motoring. Johnson back. Sweetland will face a charge. Johnson slides, and it goes by wide as Greely tries to take one short-handed. Greely controlling here short-handed. Jolliffe will dump it in, and the Clippers will have to pick up the pace. 5-4 score. Carefully brought down. McDonough. Shot deflected. Greely flicks it up the boards, and Henderson tries to get it. They left it for McDonough, and McDonough has somebody hurt over there, and I missed it. Todd Sharp down, and I didn't hear what was going on. I did hear some yelling in the audience, and looks like he's all right. Somebody's commenting on the referee's parentage, and Greely will still be a man down. Fans are uglier than the players. Clippers still have a power play, and hope Bob Davis gets the right crew out here in the power play. That's been one of the keys to Clippers' success. And puck back, Donosky misses it. Shane Strout out, and a loose puck in the zone. Donosky whiffs on it. Henderson can't get it away, and it's going to be broken out by Greely. In by Strout. He tries to dribble by two people, and again he's caught tripping a player. And Shane Strout in on a forward line. Phil Sharp in the net. And Shane Strout has been caught up on the forward line too many times tonight, and Greely has tied this game up short-handed. Bob Davis had Shane out on the power play, and Greely now is into this game. Big goal by Phil Sharp, short-handed breakaway. But the Clippers have come back before. We have 1:58 remaining. This could go into sudden death. Greely has come back from a 4-1 deficit, 5-3 deficit. And this is a hockey game, and Greely is still short-handed. Magnabo. Quinn gets a backhand away. In hustling is Brian Magnabo. Out to the point. Slap shot goes wide, and the Yarmouth Clippers waiting for the Greely players to make the slide before they wind up. McDonough looks down in. Nice attempted tip by Magnabo. He's hit up high. No call. Vecchione will pick it up. Will he try a wrap? Out around one way. Look, Greely still into the box. Out to the point. Slap shot. Down in. Can't make it work. And Joe Rich has to pick it up as the Clippers come out of the zone. Joe Rich upended. Tripped, and there's no call. We have a little do-si-do, and Todd Sharp will clear it out as the Clippers go downhill in the third period. Chuck Prynne back. 1:10 to go. Prynne over on the boards, and Greely will try to break it out. McDonough gets it. He'll flip it in. Now he'll rush in, and we've got a line change. Ryan McDonough into the board with Duffy. He and Vecchione will tie it up, and McDonough on the bottom as Mr. Jolliffe gives him an extra punch, or is that Jolliffe? Somebody else give him an extra punch. Number 18, Ham Bradford. Ham been getting away with a lot of sticking tonight. 5-5, 51 seconds to go, and the Clippers have given the game up at this point. They can put it away with 51 seconds if they want it bad enough. Anderson on the faceoff. Johnson over on the wing. Stroud and Hogenkamp on the points. And Henderson gets it. Comes out to Hogenkamp. Backhand, and it's high. Donosky will race Bradford for it. Henderson will pick it up. Looks up. Johnson's out into the slot area. Henson out to the point. Strout with a wrist shot. Down in. Tipped by Donosky. Johnson with the puck. Sweeps away from Jaws. Henderson out in front. Flipped away nicely by Bradford. Good defensive play. Picked up by Jolliffe. Henderson gets the puck. Out to the point. 25 seconds to go. Wrist shot. Attempted tip goes wide. Nicely held in by Strout. Wrist shot, and again he misses it. Greely, Donosky has to come back and bail him out. Hogenkamp will pick it up. Shane is just not having a good night. Johnson looks up, flips it out. Strout picks it up. Dribbles up the ice. A one-handed check, and Strout loses his stick. And the game is over. And the Yarmouth defense coughing it up all night long, and Greely is back in the game on Peter Halsey's goaltending. Phil Sharp's breakaway short-handed, and the Clippers now will have to show what they're made of in overtime against Greely after leading 4-1 will go into sudden death. We'll be back with the action. This is Wayne Johnson on behalf of the Yarmouth Junior Senior High Hockey Boosters Club. The old rivals, Greely and Yarmouth High Clippers. From the North Yarmouth Academy Arena, and Greely has come back from a 4-1 deficit, and the Clippers skating at 1/10 speed in the third period, lacking intensity, defensive breakdowns galore, and the Greely's Rangers have taken advantage of it. And what really broke the back was complete breakdown and a short-handed goal by Phil Sharp, as people are trying to individually rush the puck up the ice and do a lot of foolish things. We need to get back to teamwork and the intensive type play that Bob Davis has taught them. Yeah, Greely pumped up. They're back into it. Momentum Greely, but the Clippers can come back. They do it well. McDonough, Phil Sharp, and Joe Rich go into the boards, and McDonough whiffs it out front. Jolliffe in, and it goes over the net. Hayes, Henderson, and Johnson come into the forward zone. Henderson has it flicked away, as he usually can handle that. Clippers not getting breaks. Ben Donoski in across the line. Slap shot down into net. Oh, Peter Howells escapes, and the Clippers have come back. Freshman Ben Donoski has brought the Clippers back from the bottom of the well. Ben Donoski on a breakaway, and the Clippers beat the Greely Rangers. Hockey Night in Boston said #1 team in the state. And I got to tell you, you got to watch this team into the playoffs. Eric Johnson, one of the young Clipper top guns. Todd Sharp, Phil Sharp, Brian Jolliffe. All of you fellas out there. Wheels Duffy, great game. Chris Howgate, Peter Housley. This has been a great contest. A great hockey game in which Greely let down in the first two periods, coughed it up 4-1, came back in the third period to tie it up 5-5. Clippers went ahead. Ben Donoski's blistering slap shot that ricocheted down low off Peter Housley, and you're not going to count the Greely Rangers out. Clippers will go in seated top in the heels, but Bob Davis, I know, will want to see a lot more work. We'll go back to basics, and there'll be a number of people with one-on-one conversations with the coach as we bring it back to a team effort. Freshman Ben Donoski. Good game. Sven Johnson over with Eddie Harding, some of the guys that know him. Eddie obviously disappointed, but he's got to be pleased with the way his kids came back. And Bob Davis got to be pleased that we saved our jock straps. Greely, Yarmouth, what a great contest. Not excessively heavily penalized. And we're going to be back with the playoffs. We'll catch up on it. Great rivalry, great hockey, and a 6-5 overtime win for the Yarmouth High Clippers. That was Ben Donoski, I think, wasn't it? It was. And we'll get. I got to remember to get the score sheet. Alan Carter, thank you, and George Riley on the stats. Ham Bradford down saying, Hayes, I tried to whack it to you. And as I said, old rivals, old friendships. Phil Sharp gave it all, boy. He tried to bring it back with that backhanded goal. Roger Moore, big goal. We've had a heck of a hockey game, and George Sweetland, the steel curtain of Yarmouth, comes through, and that's a nice scene. George and Phil Sharp, a couple of real competitors. This is Wayne Johnson signing off for the Yarmouth Junior Senior High Hockey Boosters Club. We'll see you next round.